Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Wisdom say loud on the L. Here for the new moon in Gemini. Let me get in between my yin and my yang. New moon in Gemini. General reading for all of those in listening range. Convulsions are starting. I'm gonna clear the cards. Ooh, right now in the moment. So we can see what it's hitting for. I hope that everyone out there is well, keeping themselves well, keeping themselves in all of the places where they are loved and supported, and leaving the places where they are not. Okay. Ooh, so I'm just clearing the cards. Ooh, making them fresh and new for us. I've already prayed and asked for Holy Spirit to come on in the room per the usual. Big smoke, big smoke. Use those. Ooh. So, of course, with my channel, I'm all about all things knowledge of self. If you have not gotten your birth chart done from me, or your numerology, or your destiny cards, please do so if you are interested. Peace to the family. Peace and love. Can you see a screenshot of what, beloved? Peace, peace, peace. Ooh. Areola. Oh, what were you wanting a screenshot of? Ooh. All right, so I cleared the cards. New moon in Gemini. Gemini season. Shout out to our fellow air signs out there. Ooh, Espíritu Santo. So let's see what it is that we should be mindful of for this particular moon cycle. Blue eyes. I am from Michigan. Originally. Ooh, King of Swords. Ooh, came out very quickly. So there may be an area of our life where we need to be more authoritative, especially in terms of expressing ourselves, expressing our thoughts, words, and action. Ooh, mm, ooh. Okay, all of these cards came out together. Ooh, so this one came out by itself. So that is the main character of the moment, this moon cycle. I'm getting that there are areas in our life where we are needing to be more authoritative, more direct, upright, clear, concise, really needing to mean what we say and say what we mean. Lots of cards, lots of cards. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups that came out first. So there's some discontent, some dissatisfaction, maybe having to do with a relationship breaking down. There's an imbalance in a relationship or a rejection of some sort, non acceptance of each other. Quarreling, quarreling, um, and wanting to come out of that, right? But there may be some avoidance that's happening. Maybe avoiding each other or the situation, just sweeping things under the rug, not talking about it, not expressing how you feel. Lots of feelings here. Ooh, lots of cups, lots of feelings, emotions, right? Ooh, and there may be some disappointments in regards to that, in regards to how things are going. Um, there may be some moodiness. Ooh, trying to catch a vibe, stabilize your mood or other people's mood. Mm, mm. And then the Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, pardon. But in the reverse. Hmm. So the the deception, the sneakiness, the wanting to throw a rock and hide your hand type of energy. Ooh, so this is something that you personally may be doing, or the person that you are dealing with, right? Because it's all in the mind. So sometimes you don't get um, what you're doing specifically, but you get your reflection either way, right? Um, so with it being in the reverse, there's a desire to release that energy, to find some clarity about it. Hmm. Let's see what else comes out. Mm. Ooh, ooh. Mm. All right, more reversals. So interesting. Ooh, ooh. Mm. So, King of Pentacles in reverse. There's some energy of greed, of um, mine, and being very stubborn and closed off about it. I think not really realizing the energy of it. Sometimes we can get money, and when you have been without it for so long, or um, when you're living like hand over fist, and when you do get some, you're tight-fisted about it, even though that doesn't allow more to come to you. It's still how you feel. Like, I don't want to share it. It's mine. Um, I don't want to be giving, even in just like being able to make some sort of provision or share. You don't have to necessarily give someone money, but even like just sharing what you have, like if you can pay for dinner, um, you may not necessarily be giving away money, but there's still an energy of like you don't even want to do that. Even though you have it, you don't want to pay for it type of energy. And so, the universe looks at that and um, again reflects the same energy back to you. So it also keeps more money from coming to you when we have, oh, this type of energy about money. Two of Swords in reverse. So, um, there may be some feelings of overwhelmment with what we have going on and decisions that we have to make, wanting to come into clarity about it. And the Two of Swords is the way that the card fell. Two of Swords is underneath the Two of Cups. So again, this would kind of insinuate that it's about a relationship. Ooh, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So there's been some missed chances to connect. All right, connect in all the ways. You know what I mean? It's been some missed opportunities to do that. A lack of passion for the person as well, probably because of everything that is going on. And then the Eight of Swords in reverse. Ooh. Mm, mm. Ooh. So coming out of this, coming out of the self-inflicted bondage, knowing that you can free yourself up, you can free up. It's up to you at any moment. And take this blindfold off and shimmy out of those bindings. Even though you may not know where you are, you may not know which direction you need to go in to flee, the opportunity is still there, is still um, available. It's presenting itself. It's there. Like you can see, the light peeking through to let you know that it's there. So desiring clarity and um, the release from the bondage of this situation. And again, the bondage is self-inflicted. So it is something that you have the choice to get out of. I see more now why this came out first by itself. Like that's the overall uh, energy that we need to be mindful of. Being honest, clear. Ooh, yeah, because that's what's going to bring the ultimate happiness, the wealth, right? The Because again, this channel, what these readings are for, this is for longevity. This is for long-term wealth. This is for the incremental steps that we need to be taking along the way, right? So if I only connect with y'all twice a month, these are the incremental steps that we all, collective consciousness, needs to be taking along the way to get to here. Everything that we work for, everything that we do, right, should be about our bloodline, should be about generational wealth. How are we going to build it in the now for the later on? Yes. So, um, the self inflicted bondage is what we're coming out of to make it here. Okay. And we're going to get there by really focusing on our thoughts. Oh, excuse me. Our words and our actions. I'm talking about take it moment by moment and think a little bit before we even speak. And I would say to take it even further and think before you think, or be mindful of your thoughts. Um, be mindful of what you're thinking and really check to see, is it worth the things that you're thinking? Like, are they hindering you? Because again, we're attracting, these thoughts become things. So are the thoughts that you're thinking worth the thought? Are they worth their weight in the thought? Are they worth having if that's what you're attracting, right? Is it beneficial or is it harmful, right? Do we want the thing that we're thinking of to come to us, to be made flesh, to be made matter? And if it's a no, then the thought gotta go. Hey, whew. All right. Anything else, Spirit? Mm. Speak to some. Oh, ooh. I'm proud of myself for however many of these I've done so far, in a row, and being consistent. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, and my schedule and space and environment and all of that just hasn't really allowed me to be able to do so. And I have been wanting to and wanting to and wanting to and wanting to for years now. And well, so this can mean a lot of things. I'm getting that some old ways in us have to die in order for us to get to here, right? So the new moon is always about doing things new, in new ways of thinking, new ways of being. Sometimes when we don't even know certain behaviors, thought patterns, we don't even know sometimes that we have limiting beliefs. So it's always interesting for me to hear people say, like, oh, you know, release what doesn't serve you. Sometimes you don't even know the things that you're doing or thinking or saying or interacting with. Sometimes you don't even know that those things aren't serving you. So it's kind of, of course, easier said than done. But it's like, how do you recognize those things, especially when you're stuck in a loop or a pattern of feeling these things, so you're used to it. You don't even know that it's not the best environment to be in. Mm. Ooh, Page of Wands. Ooh, in reverse. So there's a little bit of hesitation to act, to move forward, to even know what to do. Ooh, mm. It may have something to do with a Libra, and this came out in the upright. Yes. So you want fairness. See them scales, baby? Want everything to be fair. No more, no less. And that sword of truth, you want that to be spoken. Otherwise, it's like off with his head or her head, because there anything else is sabotage, right? And that's also not equitable for there to be balance if truth isn't being spoken, if um, fairness isn't on the table, then yeah, something has to happen. Whew, that is the law. Love is the law. Yes, I, peace to my Moors. Love is the law. Ooh, mm, 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 mm. Clarify death for me, Spirit. Ooh, clarify death. Ooh, dang. Well, as for clarification of death, so um, this could be the end of, and again, this is just the energy that's present with your free will. You do whatever you want to do. This is just the energy that is present. Um, the end of imbalance and conflict and misalignment, not seeing eye to eye. Ooh, an ego death. The ego death that's needed in the end of failure. You want to be successful. I just want to be, I just want to be successful. Hey, right? So, mm, the energy is there for the failure to come to an end. Mm, acting ignorant, addictions. Um, I'm getting behavior that is detrimental, right? So, um, harmful behavior. The end of that, inshallah. And also the burden of it all and the hard work. Because, contrary to popular belief, and a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking, it does not mean that it's true. It's just a thought that you keep thinking, keep thinking until you believe it. So you can make it true for you because there's enough space, there's enough of the great mind. In my father's house are many mansions. But there's enough of the great mind for you to think whatever you want to think, for you to believe whatever you want to believe. That's a part of your free will. But contrary to popular belief, uh, it doesn't have to be hard work. Now, if you believe that it should be, then that is what you will get. But if you want that part, the struggle, to end, it absolutely can. Now, it still doesn't mean that there won't be responsibilities, but it doesn't have to feel like a burden. It doesn't have to feel like a weight that you're carrying that literally hurts, like my neck and my back, right? Woo! You don't have to do that. And you don't have to do it the way that you're doing it as well. Whatever work needs to be done. Um, don't have to do it that way. It's always better to work smarter. Ooh, mm. Anything else? Anything else? Woo, yeah. So, not there yet. Not there yet. Um, there isn't closure, and the cipher is not complete. So the curl ain't quite. Ooh, that is where we are at with it. Mm. Ooh. So what needs to happen? Mm. Oof. Speedy to some. Mm. Anything else? Oof. Ooh. Ooh. Mm. Anything. That might be it. Ooh. All right. That works. Mm. Ooh. Some give and some take. It's going to be very important to be generous. So, in what ways can you be generous? Because again, I said what needs to happen. Going from greed and just holding everything, not wanting to share, to I said what needs to happen. Needs to be some generosity, some sharing of what you have, right? That's the whole reason for having it, really and truly. Especially when people have less than you do. Sometimes people have less patience. Sometimes people have less tolerance for certain things. Sometimes people have less support, let alone, finances, um, or even ways and means, your ability, your resources, your connections, right? And sometimes doing something just as simple as tipping more or giving someone a ride who doesn't have a vehicle or um, sharing your excess of time or even mental space ability to help them with something that they need help with. All of those things are ways that you can be generous with what you have that someone else may not. And that's what is really fair and just. And even the six, like in supreme mathematics, is equality, right? But I was always taught that equality does not mean that someone else has the same that you do. Like if you have 12 pieces of pizza, you don't share six necessarily. Like that's not necessarily equality. Equality is you having what you have and you getting the portion that satisfies you and also other getting the portion that satisfies them. So it's equality when both people have the nourishment that they need. One person may eat 10 pieces and the other one eats two, but it's equality if they're both full and satisfied and nourished, right? That's what is balancing the scales. So you don't even necessarily have to give uh, half of what you have, but just the portion that would bring about equality in the relation with other. Yes, I. Oof. So we're speaking our truth in any of the regards, and scales, scales came up a few times. Yeah. So, ooh, that's what we're gonna do. And mm, I don't even want to pull anymore, y'all. But sometimes, you just get the message that you need to get, and that's it. Love is the law. So we can be renewed with this new moon and have some new emotions, some new sharing of love. Yes, ooh, and the opportunity can present it. So, all right. So, ooh, that is it for me. I love you all. And if you have any questions, if you would like your own personal reading, please reach out to me. DM, email wisdomselah@gmail.com. And yes, have a great 2 weeks until next time.